By cultivating our conscious voice, we can express our ideas and values in a way that resonates with others and drives meaningful change in our communities and society. It is a voice of compassion, empathy, and wisdom that helps us connect with others on a deep and meaningful level while also honoring our unique perspective and contribution to the world. Welcome to the Conscious Publicist podcast, a space where thoughts become ideas to advocate for a more conscious human experience in the media. Our thoughts and ideas inspire action, and the most notable leaders and organizations have transformed thoughts and ideas into global initiatives that have impacted the lives of millions. My name is Ashley Graham, and as a woman-owned business founder and publicist, I guide leaders, visionaries, and creators in discovering their conscious media voice and methodologies that inspire connection, community, and impact through aligned media channels. In this podcast, we'll dive into public relations, thought leadership, business, and entrepreneurship, all through the lens of being a conscious human being. I'll take you behind the scenes into the habits, thoughts, and modalities that have helped leaders shift past paradigms of limiting beliefs, comparison, and self-doubt to show up for themselves to become the subject matter experts they were called to be. Subscribe to the show on Apple or Spotify and join us on this journey of awakening the conscious, enlightened leader within you. Hello, everyone. I am excited to present another thought-provoking episode of the Conscious Publicist podcast. In today's episode, I will delve into the analogies briefly touched upon in episode 2. If you still need to listen to episode 2, go listen to that episode now to get the full scope and perspective of today's conversation. Before we dive in, I wanted to share a little behind-the-scenes insight to capture the full essence of this topic. To give you some perspective into my recording process, for each episode, I sit down and curate an entire page of thorough, well-written notes to follow while recording to ensure that the content flows in a way that will bring the most impact and value. While recording the first version of episode 2, I experienced a sudden insight that interrupted my recording halfway through a sentence. It felt like a wave of conscious thought came crashing into the forefront of my mind with content that wasn't planned for that episode. This stream of conscious thought was so profound and significant that I erased everything I had recorded up to that point to start over. I quickly wrote down everything that came to mind so I didn't lose the memory of it, but once I finished, I realized that the content was destined to be created for an entirely new episode. As an introduction to this stream of conscious thought, I briefly commented on the analogies that came to mind in episode 2 to connect to what was to come. It is with much excitement that after a few weeks of preparing this content, in conjunction with a home renovation and a move, it is finally ready to share. First, some housekeeping notes. This will be one of the most extended episodes on the show so far, featuring 3 core focuses. This episode's content will surely captivate your attention and inspire you. Here is a breakdown of the 3 main focuses. In part 1, we will explore the definitions and connections of self-mastery, voice activation, and the conscious voice. In part 2, we will delve into the definitions and connections of public relations, media relations, and thought leadership. And in part 3, we will connect the dots between self-mastery, voice activation, and the conscious voice with public relations, media relations, and thought leadership. Over the years, I have received feedback about my distinct viewpoint on PR, thought leadership, and conscious media activation. And in this episode, I am excited to finally bring those observations to light and provide a deeper understanding of my perspective. Get ready to gain a truly unique perspective into my world of business and PR, as well as thought leadership with valuable, rich insights. Diving into self mastery. Self mastery refers to the ability to take control of our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors and direct them in a way that leads to personal growth and well being. It involves having a deep, rich understanding of ourself, including our strengths, weaknesses, and motivations, and using this knowledge to achieve our goals and make positive changes in our life. Self mastery is often associated with the development of self discipline and self control as we learn to regulate our impulses and manage our emotions in a way that allows us to stay focused on our goals. It also involves developing a growth mindset in which our approach to challenges and setbacks are viewed as opportunities for learning and improvement rather than obstacles to avoid. Achieving self mastery is a lifelong process that requires ongoing effort and self reflection, and also involves setting goals, developing effective habits and routines, and consistently taking action towards personal growth and development. Self mastery is also our evolution into growth and expansion. Self mastery is the process and phases of consistently evaluating versions and parts of us that do not align with our highest future self that we strive to become through our daily actions, habits, patterns, goals, and dreams for what we want to create in our life. Self mastery is looking through the internal mirror to see the reflections that we want to be known for. We also discover what marks we want to make and leave on the world for those we are in partnership with and those who can be impacted or empowered through our journey here in this human experience and existence. Self-mastery also means taking ownership and personal agency for our life, decisions, and actions. There will be more on this topic in future episodes to come, so stay tuned. Shifting into voice activation. Voice activation refers to discovering and expressing knowledge, wisdom, truth, and powerful perception through our voice. It involves finding the strength and courage to speak up and share our ideas and opinions, even if they have been silenced or unheard one time or another. Voice activation is crucial to self-discovery and personal growth as it allows us to fully express ourselves and communicate effectively with those in our lives. It involves internal and external actions, such as developing self-confidence, overcoming fears and insecurities, and learning effective communication skills. Voice activation is also following the calling to share our voices of knowledge, wisdom, truth, and powerful perception. Voice activation also discovers the strength and courage in our voices that may have been silenced or unheard. Voice activation is the second part of discovering who we are and who we are meant to be when it comes to expression for ourselves and others. Voice activation is the action required for internal and external activation of our voice to be heard, recognized, and valued. Overall, voice activation is about empowering and celebrating our unique voice and using it to positively impact the world and those in our lives. It is a powerful tool for self-expression, connection, and personal transformation. As for our main narrative for this podcast and beyond, now we're going to talk about the conscious voice. The conscious voice is a term that refers to our inner monologue, thoughts, feelings, and perceptions that we use to narrate our experiences, make decisions, and communicate with ourselves and others. It is the voice we hear when we think, reflect, or imagine, and it also can be referred to as a sense of self-awareness or mindfulness. The conscious voice is intimately connected with self-mastery and voice activation, as it is a manifestation of the two. Through these practices, we become more aware of our inner voice and learn to use it more intentionally and authentically. The conscious voice is a powerful tool for expressing truth, compassion, love, and acceptance. It is a voice that connects us to others and fosters community. This voice is discovered through voice activation, which allows us to tap into our inner wisdom and value for ourselves and others. As a voice of leadership, the conscious voice empowers us to inspire and influence others as we share our insights and perspectives with clarity and authenticity. It is a voice rooted in self-mastery and mindfulness, enabling us to observe our thoughts and emotions without getting lost in them. By cultivating our conscious voice, we can express our ideas and values in a way that resonates with others and drives meaningful change in our communities and society. It is a voice of compassion, empathy, and wisdom that helps us connect with others on a deep and meaningful level, while also honoring our unique perspective and contribution to the world. Shifting into part 2, we're going to start with the public relations focus of this episode. I will give you a brief overview of what public relations is from the traditional sense, as well as my unique perspective. Public relations, often abbreviated as PR, is a strategic communications process that helps organizations or individuals build and maintain positive relationships with their target audiences. Regarding thought leadership, PR is critical in positioning individuals or organizations as experts or ones of attracted influence or authority. Through thought leadership, individuals or organizations establish themselves as trusted sources of information and insights on industry trends and issues. PR can help thought leaders and partners develop and implement effective communications strategies to increase their visibility and credibility in their respective fields. This may involve creating compelling content such as blog posts, white papers, podcasts, or videos, showcasing their expertise and unique perspectives. PR can also help thought leaders or partners identify relevant media outlets and journalists to target with their content and build relationships with them to secure media coverage. This can help amplify their message and reach a wider audience. As for my perspective, PR is truly the essential component of thought leadership and partnership, because it helps individuals and organizations establish themselves as experts and thought leaders or partners in their respective fields. PR is the ecosystem that started it all. By leveraging PR strategies, thought leaders can effectively communicate their ideas and insights to a broader audience while establishing themselves as trusted sources of information and inspiration. As for the activation of public relations, media relations is a crucial aspect of public relations that involves building and maintaining relationships with journalists and media outlets to secure positive coverage for individuals or organizations. Regarding thought leadership or partnership, media relations is essential in helping thought leaders establish themselves as credible sources of information and insights in their respective fields. By securing media coverage in reputable publications or broadcast outlets, thought leaders can reach a wider audience and enhance their reputation as experts in their field. To effectively engage in media relations as a thought leader or partner, one must develop relationships with journalists and media outlets covering their industry trends and news. This may involve identifying relevant journalists and outlets, researching their coverage in areas of interest, and developing pitches or releases that align with their needs and preferences. It's also essential for thought leaders to be available and responsive to media requests, as this can help build trust and credibility with journalists. By providing timely and accurate information, Thought leaders and partners can establish themselves as reliable sources of information and increase their chances of being featured in media coverage. Media relations is crucial to thought leadership, helping individuals establish themselves as experts in their fields and reach a wider audience through credible media coverage. By developing effective media relations strategies and building relationships with journalists and media outlets, thought leaders can effectively communicate their ideas and insights to a broader audience and enhance their reputation as trusted sources of information and inspiration. Now for the thought leadership portion. Thought leadership, or what we are going to start identifying as thought partnership, is a concept that refers to the ability to establish yourself as an expert in your space, providing unique insights and perspectives on trends and issues. Thought leaders or partners are seen as influential and credible sources of information and are often sought after for their expertise. To be a thought leader or partner, you must possess deep knowledge, expertise, and a clear understanding of trends and issues based off of your perspectives and your position. You must also be able to communicate your ideas and insights effectively to a broader, larger audience. Thought leadership or partnership can take many forms, including published articles, public speaking engagements, media interviews, or additional media segments. The key through thought leadership or partnership is to provide valuable insights and ideas that challenge conventional thinking and offer new perspectives on trends and issues. By establishing yourself as a thought leader or partner, you can enhance your reputation, build your brand, and gain visibility within your respective space. You can also use your thought leadership position to drive change and influence the direction of your space or perspectives. Thought partnership is about providing valuable insights and ideas that challenge conventional thinking and offer new perspectives on trends and issues. By establishing yourself as an expert in your space, you can enhance your reputation, gain influence within your space or industry, and contribute to developing new ideas and solutions to common issues and areas for growth and expansion. Leading into the juiciest part of this episode, we're going to start the connection. And the first one we're going to start with is the connection between self-mastery and public relations. At first glance, the connection between self-mastery and public relations may not be apparent. But as I mentioned, thought leaders like to challenge perspectives. I want to challenge the perspective here. I believe that self-mastery and public relations are closely intertwined in building a personal brand and establishing yourself as a thought leader or partner in a particular space or role. Self-mastery is essential for achieving personal growth, developing effective habits and routines, and consistently taking action towards our goals. In the context of thought leadership, self-mastery plays a crucial role in shaping a thought leader's brand and reputation. Self-mastery is gaining control over one's thoughts, emotions, and actions to achieve personal growth and development. This includes developing self-awareness, self-confidence, and effective communication skills, all essential to successful public relations. Through self-mastery, we can understand ourselves better, our strengths and weaknesses, and our motivations. We can then use this knowledge to identify our unique perspectives and insights on trends and issues that are important to us, which can be leveraged through PR strategies to establish ourselves as thought leaders. Conversely, PR provides the tools and resources to effectively communicate these perspectives and insights to a broader audience who will be impacted through these perspectives most. By creating compelling content, identifying relevant media outlets and journalists, and building relationships with them, we can amplify our message and establish ourselves as trusted sources of inspiration and information. Public relations is the strategic communications process that helps individuals or organizations who want to pursue thought leadership to build positive relationships with their target audiences. This involves developing effective communication strategies, building relationships with stakeholders, and managing public perception, all of which require a high degree of self-mastery. In essence, self-mastery and public relations work together to create a powerful combination to help thought leaders build a personal brand, establish themselves as partners, and positively impact their spaces. Achieving self-mastery is a critical first step for thought leaders looking to establish themselves as partners in their respective fields or spaces. By combining self-mastery with public relations strategies, we can effectively communicate our unique perspectives and insights to a broader audience, establish ourselves as trusted sources of inspiration and information, and impact our roles, industries, or positions and those in partnership with us. As for the connection between voice activation and media relations, in today's digital age, where social media and online platforms have become powerful tools for communication, the ability to effectively express oneself and communicate ideas has become more important than ever. As discussed earlier, voice activation involves discovering and expressing knowledge, wisdom, truth, and powerful perception through the voice. It involves developing effective communication skills and overcoming fears and insecurities to effectively communicate with others. For thought leaders and visionaries, effective communication and self-expression are critical to establishing themselves as experts and thought leaders in their respective fields. This is where voice activation comes in, as it involves developing the confidence and skills to express oneself clearly, compellingly, and authentically. By embracing voice activation, thought leaders or partners can cultivate their unique voice and share their ideas and insights with others in a way that resonates and inspires while communicating their ideas effectively. On the other hand, media relations plays an essential role in helping visionaries and thought leaders amplify their voice and reach a wider audience. By building relationships with journalists and media outlets, thought leaders can secure media coverage that showcases their expertise and establishes them as their experts in their field. This can increase visibility, credibility, and influence, ultimately helping individuals achieve their professional and personal goals and positively impact their industry or their spaces. Incorporating voice activation into media relations strategies can also enhance the effectiveness of thought leadership efforts. By developing a clear and confident communication style, thought leaders can better articulate their ideas and insights to journalists and media outlets. This can help establish trust and build relationships with key media contacts, leading to increased media coverage and opportunities to reach a wider audience. Moreover, voice activation can help leaders establish a unique and authentic voice to help them stand out in the media landscape. By embracing their unique perspectives and experiences, thought leaders can develop a distinct voice that can help them connect with journalists and media outlets on a deeper level. In my opinion, voice activation and media relations are two critical components of thought leadership that work together to help visionaries establish themselves as credible sources of information and insights in their respective fields. Visionaries and thought leaders can enhance their reputation as thought leaders and achieve their professional goals by building confidence in their communication skills and developing effective media relations strategies. In other words, voice activation provides the foundation for effective communication and self expression, while media relations offers the platform for sharing those ideas with a broader audience. By embracing voice activation and media relations, thought leaders can establish themselves as credible sources of information and inspiration and positively impact the world. As for the connection between the conscious voice and thought leadership, the conscious voice and thought leadership are deeply related concepts that can be leveraged to enhance one's ability to lead and inspire others. By cultivating our conscious voice, we can tap into our inner wisdom and value and communicate our ideas and insights with truth, clarity, and authenticity. This allows us to establish ourselves as thought leaders in our respective fields, providing unique perspectives and insights that challenge conventional thinking and drive meaningful change. Both require a strong sense of self, self awareness, mindfulness, and the ability to communicate ideas and insights with clarity and authenticity to drive significant change. To be a thought leader, visionaries must cultivate their conscious voice and use it to express their ideas and insights in a way that resonates with others. They must be able to tap into their inner wisdom and values and communicate them with conviction and clarity. This requires a deep understanding of their thought processes and emotions and the ability to observe them without getting lost. At the heart of both the conscious voice and thought leadership is the idea of self-mastery and mindfulness. We can observe without getting lost by developing a deeper understanding of our inner voice and the thoughts and emotions that shape it. This enables us to communicate our ideas and insights with greater clarity and impact to connect with others on a deeper and more meaningful level. At the same time, becoming a thought leader can also enhance one's conscious voice, as it requires deep reflection and self awareness. By developing a deeper understanding of their field and its issues, individuals can also gain a deeper understanding of their values and perspectives, which can be expressed through their conscious voice. Thought leaders, in particular, must be intentional and mindful in their communication approach to effectively share their ideas and insights in a way that drives meaningful change. By cultivating a conscious voice, thought leaders can ensure that their communication and perspectives aligns with their values and purpose and is designed to achieve specific goals. Similarly, cultivating a conscious voice requires communicating with clarity and authenticity. It requires an individual to tap into their inner wisdom and express their values and beliefs in a way that connects with others. This can be achieved through voice activation and self-mastery, which help individuals become more aware of their inner voice and use it more intentionally and effectively. By cultivating a conscious voice and establishing oneself as a thought leader, individuals can become powerful agents of change in their industry and society. They can use their voice to challenge conventional thinking and offer new perspectives on industry trends and issues. This can inspire others to take action and drive meaningful change in their communities, creating a ripple effect of influence that all serves one greater purpose. Thought leadership often challenges the status quo and pushes boundaries to drive innovation and change. By using a conscious voice, thought leaders can communicate their ideas, perspectives, and insights clearly, persuasively, and compellingly, making it more likely that their ideas will be embraced and acted upon. As for the conscious voice is also closely related to emotional intelligence, an essential component of effective thought leadership. By being aware of their own emotions and the emotions of others, thought leaders can use their conscious voice to communicate in a way that is empathetic, understanding, and respectful, building stronger relationships with their audience. In essence, the conscious voice and thought leadership are two sides of the same coin, as both require a deep understanding of oneself and the ability to communicate ideas and insights with clarity and authenticity. By cultivating both, Individuals can establish themselves as influential and credible sources of information and drive meaningful change in their communities and society. Finally, the conscious voice is closely connected to purpose, which moves effective thought leadership forward. By using their conscious voice to communicate their purpose and values, thought leaders can inspire and motivate others to take action and positively impact the world. I could easily go on and on about self mastery, voice activation, and the conscious voice and their connection to public relations, media relations, and thought leadership, but this covers it for this episode. I hope you find this content, perspective, and discussion insightful and thought provoking just as I do. As I mentioned, I truly believe I have a unique perspective on the connection here and am passionate about conveying it as clearly and thoroughly as possible. The last note that I will leave you with here is that thought leadership is all about personal growth and expansion. When we evolve and expand as individuals, we open the door to better serve the world around us through our newfound growth and perspectives that others can learn from us. Public relations, media relations, and thought leadership are all manifestations of self mastery, voice activation, and the conscious voice. It truly is the catalyst that launches it all. By understanding the connections between these concepts, you can take the necessary steps to establish yourself as a thought leader and positively impact change and inspiration in the world around you. If you would like me to dive into these areas more, or even share with you my own experience and evolutions through self mastery, voice activation, and the conscious voice, and how it has shaped my personal experience around public relations, media relations, and my thought leadership journey, please let me know, and I will be more than happy to share those insights for you in a future episode. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I can't wait to connect with you in more episodes to come.